Most people panic when they hit 100,000 miles on their car. Dealerships want you to panic when you hit 100,000 miles in your car so they can push you into new payment plans. But the reality is, in 2026, 100,000 miles really isn't nothing. You know, these cars are made to hit 200 and even 300,000 miles only if you follow the tips and tricks that I'm gonna tell you in this video today. And guys, if you're new here, welcome to Ziggywick, where we do these POVs talking about cars, life improvement, but mainly just the cars, guys. And let's hop right into it because there's a lot of things we need to clear up. As somebody with a car that has 225,000 miles on it, I don't know if you can see there, a lot of people are discouraged against high mileage cars, and the reality is there's nothing to be scared of as long as you take the proper steps needed. The myth is that after 100,000 miles, the car is worth nothing. It's not worth putting money into it. It's not worth maintaining it. You know, it's easier to just trade it before the problems start happening. You know, a lot of people will say this, and I've heard this out of people's mouth before. They'll say, after 100K, and I'm just trade it in. Get rid of it before the problems start. After 100,000 miles, I mean, you already got hit with all the depreciation. At this point, it's either the car's value is gonna start to stagnate, or it might go up if you're lucky in the car market. You know what I mean? Goes up. You look at these people with used cars right now. The demand for used cars is high. So cars that were worth 4,000. I make these videos talking about how the used car market is going up and up and up. What do you think are happening to all these people that kept their 100,000 mile car, their 200,000 mile cars? You know, they're getting an increase on their value. So at that point, your car is an asset. You know, your car has the possibility to gain value depending on a lot of things like the brand, the make and model, you know, X, Y, and Z. A used car that's paid off, that has 100,000 miles, is gonna be worth more to you than a new car with a car payment. You know, these are always factors you have to consider. You're no longer making those payments every single month that is going towards interest. All that money is going into your pocket. And let's break down the math, because a lot of people will say even in my comments, they'll say, you know, they rather have a new car that they don't got to worry about versus fixing up a car. It's cheaper that way. Guys, if you do the actual math, unless you buy a hunk of junk, it's never going to be actual cheaper. So for instance, let's look at this car right now. I bought it for 4,000, I think, or it's like 3,800 or something like that. And it needed a clutch job done. That was the main thing I needed to get this car to where it is right now. I needed a clutch job. The clutch job was $1,500 after, you know, parts and labor. People would say, look at that and be like, oh, that was a crazy expense that you had to pay for, versus if you had a new car, you would not have to have got a clutch job in a brand new car, you know? But $1,500, if you get a brand new car, the average payment is going to be like $300 to $400 or even $500. I know a lot of people in car payments that's like $700 a month just for the payment. That clutch job was just a payment for 3 months, and then I get to just go back to normal, back to my regular scheduled thing, you know what I mean, saving money every single month. And now I have a car that feels good, feels brand new because it has a new clutch, you know. So these are things you have to think of. A lot of people, especially dealerships, if you go to a dealership and ask them for advice, they'll tell you, oh, get out of it. Why do you think they're telling you that? Because they're gonna benefit off of you getting another car. Like, they don't actually care about what's good for you, what's gonna last, what's best for your current situation. It's a job, you know. You have to treat these dealerships accordingly. It's a job, and they're expected to meet quotas, you know. Everybody wants to have the most cars sold per month, so they're just doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But high mileage cars are determined when they're low mileage. So if you want your car to get to 200,000 miles, 300,000 miles, you need to take these steps while you have low miles. You know, do things like your coolant flush. Things like change your transmission fluid before it gets too dark and it's not wise to change it anymore. Keep up with your oil changes. Change your brake fluid so it doesn't mess up your calipers and you can stop properly. You know what I mean? Make sure your power steering fluid is up to date. Just keep up to date with things that need to be done. Your timing belt or chain, your serpentine belt, things like that you need to stay on top of right now, because this is the time where, you know what I mean, things are not gonna break at 100,000 miles, but things are getting old, depending on how fast you got there. And I'm assuming you did the typical average 10K miles per year driving. So, you know, the car is showing some age. You need to take care of these things while they're don't wait for stuff to break. Because you wait for stuff to break, then it's gonna be a problem. Change it now while you have that leeway, right? Stay on top of it. And if you're somebody that's not really good with cars, find a mechanic that you can trust. That's the best thing you can do, especially early on. Find somebody that you can trust. You bring it there, keep up with your records. You know what I mean? Like, that's the easiest way to get a car to 200,000 miles. It's not like it's gonna get to 100,000 miles, it's gonna automatically break down and stop running. Especially if you have a Japanese car like a Honda or a Toyota. I mean, these cars are proven. Oh, let's get a. I mean, these cars are proven time and time again to go to 200,000 miles with ease, with the proper maintenance. So you just gotta do that. You gotta handle the stuff that you need to handle, and your car will last you. Don't be brainwashed. Don't let people guilt trip you into getting a newer car that you don't really need, that you can't really afford at the moment, because payments add up. They do. That is one of the biggest killers in today's economy, payments. It's so easy to put anything on payment. I mean, goddamn, I could put a water bottle on a payment plan with Karma or Klarna, whatever it is, if I really needed to. Your credit card, payments, everything is payments. It's so easy to get into something that you don't need or that you can't afford just because of these payments. So knowing this, you gotta stay away from it. Because if payments were so good, there would not be so many people going through credit card debt, you know what I mean, getting their homes foreclosed and all this stuff. Like, it's so easy nowadays to live above your means, and that's not good. And especially if you have a nice car. I mean, I don't even know if I should be giving all this sauce, because I love buying used cars. I'm gonna buy some more gems off Marketplace, and if I tell you guys all this good stuff, you're not gonna want to trade in your cars. I'm not gonna be able to buy a nice clean used car because you didn't want to keep it, you know what I mean? So I don't know if this is good for me or bad for me, but I guess it doesn't help to share a little bit of the sauce. Not everybody's gonna take that advice anyway. So if you're somebody that relates to this video, you have a car that has 100,000 miles, or you're getting to 100,000 miles, the first thing you need to do is update your maintenance records. You know, the best way to know what's wrong with your car is to keep track of what was wrong with it and if you fixed it or not. You know what I mean? And right now we going a little slow in the right lane, we might have to get over. But yeah, the best thing you can do is start keeping track. I mean, when I do my oil changes, like, I have everything I've done written down in my notes app. You know what I mean? Because you need to know. Sometimes I go back and I'm like, yo, did I do this already? I already did it. Everything is jotted down in my notes app with the time and date and the mileage that I did it at. Because, you know what I mean, you got to keep track of these things. You got to stay on top of it. Let's get over, because we're doing like 60. Speed limit 65. We're going too slow. But that's the first step. The first step is keeping track of what needs to be done. You know what I mean? And the second step is getting out of the typical consumerism mindset. Just because your car has high miles doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's gonna break down. I mean, if you don't believe me, go on Marketplace right now and type in the year and make of your car, and look at how many of those cars you'll see right now for sale that have over 100,000 miles. You know what I mean? Damn, this cop just camping out. But look at how many of these cars you'll see online with over 100,000 miles that are being sold. And I don't like how when we pass cop, everybody's slowing down now. Drive up, we can go to speed limit. And the reason there are so many cars with 100,000 miles is because it's proven, if all these people have the cars and they're selling it and it has high miles, you can get there too. Like, I'm not just saying this to say, like, cars are more reliable. There's more technology that goes into the engineering of cars. You just have to take proper care of it. And I understand some cars are harder and harder to work on, you know. My friend sent me this video, Gene, shout out Gene. He sent me this video about this guy, and basically he's saying the same thing, like, yo, cars are made to be hard to work on, you know. And although it might be more expensive, it might take more time to properly care and take care of a car, you still gotta try, because it's always gonna be cheaper than getting yourself into something new, than getting yourself into another payment. You know, I tell people all the time, I'm against payments. You know, you can always get something cheap that you don't gotta sign up for. And although this is true, I mean, some people want to get it, but I mean, if you're one of those people, don't trade in your car after you pay it off. Stick with it. You already paid it off. You took the depreciation hit. Why would you want to do that another time? Enjoy the car while you have it. You know what I mean? And that's really that's really what it is. I mean, 225,000 miles. And my goal is to get this car to 300,000. So I'm not just talking to talk, guys. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I've done it multiple times. I had this Honda Civic. I bought it with 97,000 miles. I brought it up to, what was it? I think I got it up to 140,000 or 130 something before I sold it to buy this. And if I didn't sell it, I would have still had that car to this day. I probably would have been at 200,000 miles by now, the way I be driving. But you don't need that car. You don't need to trade it in. Enjoy what you have. Take care of it, especially if you have a gem. If you have a Civic, Corolla, Camry, Accord, CR-V, RAV4, those cars that are proven, that are staples in the economy, that's gonna get to high miles. Keep it, take care of it. It's gonna be cheaper. It's gonna save you in the long run. And guys, we're not gonna talk too long. We're gonna go ahead, wrap up this video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Thank you for tapping in. You know, I love and appreciate every single one of y'all, man. Make proper decisions in 2026. Don't waste your money. Don't be a fool to the system. Make sure y'all travel and buy TSX. And you know what I mean? If you're somebody that has a car that has over 100,000 miles, let me know down below in the comments what car you drive, what year, make, and model, so other people can know it's possible. Maybe somebody has a car they're having thoughts about trading it in, and they can read a comment about somebody that has the same car that kept it and it's going fine. That can motivate them to make that decision and not spend the unnecessary bread. Keep the car you got, man. So make sure y'all drop down below what y'all driving. Catch y'all next video, guys. Peace.